You can start, Prabhu.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Shrunvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravan Kirtana Hridayantastu hi abhadrani vidanote surat satham Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Canto 4, Chapter 3, Text 20. Vyaktam tvamutkrishtagate prajapate Priyatmajanamasi subhrume matha Tathapi manam napitu prapatsyase Madashayadkha paritapyate yatha. Synonyms. Vyaktam, it is clear. Tvam, you. Utkrishtagate, having the best behavior. Prajapati, of Prajapati. Daksha, Priya, the pet. Atma, Jana, the daughters. Asi, you are. Subhru, you. O, you with the beautiful eyebrows. May, my. Matha, considered. Tathapi, yet. Manam, honor. Na, not. Pithu, from your father. Prapasyase, you will meet with. Madashrayat, from connection with me. Kha, Daksha. Paritapyate, is feeling pain. Yatha, from home. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. My dear white complexioned wife, it is clear that of the many daughters of Daksha, you are the pet. Yet you will not be honored at his house because of your being my wife. Rather, you will be sorry that you are connected with me. Purport. Lord Shiva put forward the argument that even if Sati proposed to go alone without her husband, still she would not be received well because she was his wife. There was every chance of a catastrophe, even if she wanted to go alone. Therefore, Lord Shiva indirectly requested her not to go to her father's house. Text 21. Papacyamanena hridāturendriyah samriddhi purusha buddhi sakshinam akalpayesham adhirodhum anjasa param padam dveshtiyata harim. Synonyms. Papacyamanena, burning. Hrida, with a heart. Atura indriya, who is distressed. Samriddhi, by the pious reputation, etc. Purusha buddhi sakshinam, of those who are always absorbed in the thoughts of the Supreme Lord. Akalpa, being unable. Esham, of those persons. Adhirodham, to rise. Anjasa, quickly. Param, merely. Padam, to the standard. Tvesti, Yanvi, Yatha, as much as. Asuraha, the demons. Harim, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation. One who is conducted by false ego and thus always distressed, both mentally and sensually, cannot tolerate the opulence of self-realized persons. Being unable to rise to the standard of self-realization, he envies such persons as much as demons envy Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. The real reason for the enmity between Lord Shiva and Daksha is explained here. Daksha was envious of Lord Shiva because Shiva's high position as an incarnation of quality of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and because Shiva was directly in contact with the Super Soul. and was therefore honored and given better sitting place than he. There were many other reasons also. Daksha, being materially puffed up, could not tolerate the high position of Lord Shiva. So his anger at Lord Shiva's not standing up in his presence, was only the final manifestation of his envy. Lord Shiva is always in meditation and always perceives the super soul, as expressed here by the words Purusha Buddhi Sakshinam, the position of one whose intelligence is always absorbed uh, in meditation upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very great and cannot be imitated by anyone, especially an ordinary person. When Daksha entered the arena of Yajna, Lord Shiva was in meditation and might not have seen Daksha enter. But Daksha took the opportunity to curse him because Daksha had maintained an envious attitude towards Lord Shiva for a long time. Those who are actually self realized see every individual body as a temple of Supreme Personality of Godhead because the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his Paramatma feature, is residing in everyone's body. When one offers respect to the body, it is not the material body, but to the presence of the Supreme Lord. Thus, one who is always in meditation upon the Supreme Lord is always offering him obeisances. But since Daksha was not very elevated, he thought that the obeisances were offered to the material body. And because Lord Shiva did not offer respect to his material body, Daksha became envious. Such persons, being unable to rise to the standard of self realized souls, like Lord Shiva, are always envious. The example given here is very suitable. Asuras, demons, or atheists are always envious of Supreme Personality of Godhead. They simply want to kill him. Even in this age, we find some so-called scholars commenting on Bhagavad Gita who are envious of Krishna. When Krishna says, Man mana bhava mad bhakta, Bhagavad Gita 8, chapter 1865, always think of me, become my devotee, surrender unto me. The so-called scholars comment that it is not to Krishna that we have to surrender. That is envy. The asura or atheist, the demons, without reason or a cause, are enemies of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, instead of offering respect to self-realized person, foolish men who cannot approach the highest standard of self-realization are always envious, although there is no reason. End of purport. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prashtaya Utale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamini. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश धारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. I humbly seek the blessings of all assembled Vaishnavas. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Please forgive me for any shortcoming. So here, Lord Shiva is saying those who are conditioned by false ego cannot come to the level of self-realization or self-realized person, and thus they envy. So one who is conditioned by false ego thinks that I am the owner of this material opulence, and I am the enjoyer of all these opulences. That is, actually, Krishna is the owner of everything. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. We are only the servant of Krishna. That is our true nature. But under the false ego, we think that we are the owner, we are the enjoyer. That's why there are so many highly educated people in this world, highly rich people, but they don't come to Krishna consciousness. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that Bhogeshwarya Prasakthanam Taya Bharata Chetasam Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Samadhavana Vidiyati. Bhoga means one who is trying to enjoy the opulences. Aishwarya means that I am the owner of all these opulences. Such people cannot come to Krishna consciousness because they do not, their intelligence is taken away. Aparta Chetasa, their intelligence taken away by these two, and they do not have the steady intelligence required for the devotional service. Therefore, they don't come to Krishna consciousness. So now those who are in this path are those who are Bhoga and Aishwarya, those who are engaged in this opulence and enjoyment, and they do not only they do not come to this path of self-realization, and sometimes they are envious of the persons who are engaged in the self-realization. So sometimes the devotees who are practicing this path of bhakti may face resistance from their own family or from their relatives or the society, all these, because they cannot tolerate the persons who are engaged in this path of bhakti. Even when Prabhupada was preaching Krishna consciousness throughout this world, he had to face resistance. When these young people joined this movement, their parents, sometimes other people also protested. They went to court, they went to TV, in so many ways, wrote articles. In this way, they protested, because they do not tolerate those who are engaged in the path of self-realization. And not only Srila Prabhupada, before his Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also faced similar issues when young brahmacharis joined Gaudiya Math. Their parents used to come to the temple and create disturbance. Sometimes they used to bring police. In this way, when someone is engaged in self-realization, those who are conditioned by false ego, they would cause or they cannot tolerate. Just like Prahlad Maharaj, he was engaged in the path of Krishna consciousness. His own father tried to kill him. Now, those who engage in the path of self-realization also, if it is not without Krishna consciousness, then there is no benefit. Like the impersonalists, they are also engaged in the path of self-realization minus Krishna. Such path, Lord Brahma says in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, Shreya Shrutim Bhaktim Udasyate Vo. क्लिश्यन्ति ये केवल बोधलब्धये तेषाम् असौ क्लेशल एव शिष्यते नान्यात् यथा स्थूल तुषावगाथिनाम. That is, those who are engaged in the path of self-realization, but giving up Shreya Shrutim Bhakti, this Shreya, ultimate path of Bhakti, they have given up, but they are engaged in the cultivation of knowledge, speculative knowledge. And they are also endeavoring very hard. And what is their gain? Their gain is simply the endeavor. There is no other benefit. And Lord Brahma gives a comparison that it is like beating an empty husk. Like in the olden days, before all these machines came, the paddy, they used to dry, and then after drying, they used to beat with a wooden mortar to remove the husk. So if someone is beating an empty husk, already there is no grain, and is beating, and what is the result? And the result is simply the troublesome endeavor. Similarly, these impersonalists who are engaged in speculative knowledge, cultivation of knowledge, they're trying very hard, and the result is simply the endeavor, no gain. So self-realization without Krishna consciousness is simply an useless endeavor. So Lord Shiva says, here to talk, speaking to Sati, that you are very dearest, dearmost daughter for Daksha. You are chaste woman, but Daksha is puffed up with this false ego, and you, because you are connected with the Lord Shiva, you will not be welcomed. Rather, you will face humility. That's what the Lord Shiva is saying. Now here, one more thing, Lord Shiva is giving comparison, how the people who are in the path of self-realization will not be tolerated by the people who are engaged in Bhog and Aishwarya, is comparing just like the Asuras, they hate the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord comes again and again, repeatedly, paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkrita, to punish the asuras and protect the devotees. Lord comes again and again. So the demons always hate, envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord Shiva is giving this comparison of how people in Bhoga Aishwarya, they envy of the path of one who engaged in the path of self-realization, just like the asuras hate the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. Hari. With that, I will stop here. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Please forgive me any misgiving, mis information.